losses streak without the interception. I mean, have you ever in your entire career seen anything like that before?
It's funny you asked. I was thinking about it last night when I was sitting watching ESPN, and I was just thinking, man, this is like our 10th game. He still hasn't thrown an interception. And in high school, I played quarterback, and at the beginning of the season, I would always see if I can go the whole season without throwing one. And I would probably throw like 2 or 3 a season, and it's really hard to throw none. And for him to do that at the highest level of college football, I mean, it's kind of amazing. I was just sitting there thinking about it last night. I was like, man, he still hasn't thrown an interception. How great is that?
How much of that success is kind of based on just the chemistry you guys have and running your routes to where you're supposed to and being on the same page with him?
I think it comes into play a lot. Over the summer, over the off season, we worked hard together. All the receivers, Marcus, we did a lot of things to kind of correct some mistakes from last year. But at the same time, I think a lot of it is Marcus. That guy, he's been in the film room all year since the last day we played our last game. Last year, he was in the film room every day, seeing how he could get better. Every day in the off season, he was trying to get 7-on-7 going. He's just that type of guy. He comes to practice every day to get better, to work hard, and it's not a surprise that he does the things that he does on the field. And to see him, throw all these touchdowns and not have an interception thrown, it makes me really happy for him, because to know all the hard work he's put in is really working for him.
How nice was it to get the offense clicking in the second half? On Saturday, was there some sludge maybe from the Stanford game in the first half, and you guys just need some time to get going?
I don't think so. I think we knew that Utah was going to be a good team. They've been in a lot of close games this whole season. I know their record doesn't show it, but they've actually been in a lot of close games this whole season, and they've come up short right at the end. So we knew that it was going to be a tough battle. Coach Soph just talked about staying the course and just playing the next play. Anytime you play 2 good teams in football, they're going to make plays. The opposing team is going to make plays. Everybody's going to make plays. So we just had to stay the course and just keep believing in the game plan and keep trusting ourselves and doing what we do. And I think our tempo kind of warmed down at the end.
Has the mood of this team changed at all now that you guys are back in the race for the Pac-12 championship and can kind of control your own destiny for the Rose Bowl at least?
I don't think it ever changed. I think it was a little disappointment after the Stanford loss. But Coach Helvers always talks about just coming every week prepared, work hard at practice. And then at the end of the season, we'll pick our heads up and see where we are. But of course, we know now that sort of kind of way, our destiny is in our own hands again. So we definitely want to, take advantage of those things and do what we can to make sure we do the best we can to protect our destiny this time and, not make any mistakes.
Josh was saying that he felt some disappointment Saturday watching that USC game and how they beat Stanford because he kind of second-guessed, what happened last Thursday. How'd you feel watching or seeing that game?
I definitely think, just after watching the film against Stanford, we did a lot of things. We moved the ball really well. I thought, we just made some mistakes in the red zone a couple of times. We didn't finish some drives. And I thought, that if we would have played a lot better, we might have had a better chance to beat Stanford also. But definitely, watching that game Saturday, watching USC beat Stanford, it was no surprise to me because in this conference, it's hard to get a win every week. Utah beat Stanford, we beat Utah, and Stanford beat us. So that just tells you right there how crazy this conference is. It's a hard conference to go out every week and get a win. So, USC came out and played a great game, and Stanford did also. But USC just came out with the win.
And speaking about the conference, you're playing Arizona this week. They took a tough loss to Washington State. Talking about the challenges you're going to see down in the desert this weekend. Arizona is always a tough place to go and play. A couple years back when Dennis Dixon was here, some things happened that game where they almost lost that game, but they pulled it out. So anytime you go into Tucson and play a team like Arizona, and the atmosphere is so crazy, you have to make sure that you're so focused and that you do the right things you need to do to make sure you can seal the win. So we just have to come in focused, prepare all week. We had the rest of this week ahead of us before the game on Saturday. We have to come prepared and just make sure when we show up on Saturday, we are ready to play. Be ready for a hostile environment. What do you see from their secondary?
They're a zone team, but they're more one of the aggressive zone teams I've seen so far. Usually you only see aggressive man teams. Utah was a man team and they were aggressive, physical. But in Arizona, I see an aggressive zone team. So it's kind of weird, to see something like that. So, I think it'll be a challenge for us. Usually when teams play a lot of zone, they aren't so physical. But Arizona's defense, they're really physical. They can run. They have some guys that can run and tackle in space. So it'll definitely be a tough matchup for us, and I think it'll be a great challenge for us.
Bralon, just one question. Are you surprised? Marcus doesn't care about personal accolades. Mm-hmm. Are you surprised that he's kind of dropped off the Heisman map? I mean, going back, he's 353 pass attempts without the interception.
You know, I know Marcus won't say this, but I definitely think it's unfair that, you know, because of one loss that we have, that, you know, now that Marcus is out of, they're saying he's out of the race and he's not going to win it. You know, if you go back and look at it, I mean, Marcus didn't play bad at all. You know, there was some things we could have done better to help him out in that game. So I definitely think it's unfair that he's fallen out of that race. And, you know, maybe, you never know, he might have the greatest 3 games at the end of this year, and then they'll say he's the best quarterback they've ever seen in college football. But that's just how it is, you know. You play 10 good games and you play 1 bad game, and now, you know, you'll never make it in the NFL, or you're not a Heisman quarterback or anything. So I know Marcus is not going to worry about that, and, you know, he's such a great guy that he doesn't care about personal accolades. So he's going to come and bring it, and I think, you know, the world knows how good Marcus is, and we all know in that locker room how good he is. So I don't think it's bothering him at all, but totally I think it's unfair.